Yo, 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 we are back. Just find another mix. Okay, here we go.
Alright, bruv, should we kickstart this mix? Let's go.
Okay, we keep moving. We are back. Working on Mirza Sahiba, part 3. Here we go. I did quite a lot off stream as well when I started the piece, but I think it'll be nice for you guys to see the process as I'm doing it. Whoever wants to watch back, please enjoy. And I hope you guys can kind of learn and see the process in a bit more clarity. Yeah, there we go. Okay, right. We just finished off doing a bit of shading on the bottom half of the skirt, sorry, chadar, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so highlights. Let's do some highlights. I'm not going to put too much highlights, but you basically see where all these all the base layer is. We just want to kind of go on the in-betweens of these to create highlights. So again, I'm gonna probably zone out a little bit and get most of these done, because it does take a bit of time. It is very time consuming, but again, it is all worth it in the end. So you'll see how I'm using spike shading just to kind of like accentuate all these in between spaces. Of course, enjoy the music as well. Tunes. So many bangers. Endless bangers. Okay. There we go. Nice. Let's bring in some hair. So all of the same method that I'm using now is how I did the hair as well. You'll see how curvy the hair is, and like all the lines that I've put in there. Same process. It's just applying it in a whole different part of the piece of artwork. I'm going to bring a nice line down here. And we're always thinking about reinventing things, you know, reinventing and reimagining stories that we know and what we're trying to illustrate and how we want to depict it. Stuff like this, staying original, is how we stand out. as artists, as creatives, you know, we don't want to always be depicting the same thing as what we know. Step away from that sometimes. It's sometimes hard to do, but got to practice it. Practice makes perfect always, especially using this tool, using the pen tool in Photoshop. It's not everyone's norm, but find what works for you again. Process that you're comfortable with. So I'm picking out these little edges that I feel like should have highlights. So again, just following these curves around. Nice. Got some old school bhangra on in the background. I'm literally just pulling out these little bumps around. There's so many ups and downs on this bit of fabric here. So some of these highlight bits that I'm doing, after I actually make them, I might just fade them a little bit. So by that I don't mean like turn the opacity down, I mean I will like fade off the edges of each one of them, just to not give them too much of a hard edge. I'll show you how I'm going to do that as well, just using like a normal airbrush rubber, and I think that will just blend things in a little bit more. Nice little effect that I choose to do sometimes, a lot in the face. I tend to do that, like under the cheeks and stuff. Oh, sorry, on the cheeks, under the eyes. There we go. Right. Let's do one more here. Cool. Okay, I think that's nice for the highlights. Let's turn that into a layer. So shape. There we go. We have our whites. Now what we want to do, jump into your layer options, double click on the layer. Let's turn the fill opacity down and do a color overlay. Have it on normal now, white and overlay. Beautiful. It's pretty nice. There we go, just subtle. And we have that whole set of layers there now. Nice. And that looks pretty good. Let's work on the leg very quickly. So by the way, I'm going to rasterize that layer. Let's rasterize that. And now that allows me to do this very quickly. Let's turn the opacity on the brush down a little bit. Now this is what I meant by fading them in. So you see how I'm just knocking out some of the tip parts, the edges, the ends, the corners, so that they blend into the fabric. Right there. Another one here. Another one here. So maybe do a little slight bit here. Just gives it a nice feel, a nice smooth element to it. There we go. Sorted. So now if you turn that layer on and off, you'll see it's a nice little subtle difference. Pretty sweet. Let's work on the leg. Now, leg shading. We have this huge bit of fabric above her leg, so I want to make sure that we clearly define that. Rasterize that layer. Still going, yep, still going. So you want to follow that, because this whole big part of fabric will cast a shadow. And now let's do this. Spike shading around the edge, curving it just so we show the curvature of the leg as well. So not just straight. And now we continue with this bit as well, so that will cast a shadow, this will cast a shadow here. Well, I'm guessing so anyway. In my world it probably does. Just a little bit on the floor, on the ground, like that. Cool, okay. Make selection, copy and paste. Now what I like to do with skin shading, turn the fill opacity, if it's black, you turn it down, add a color overlay of black. Hopefully it should give you a bit of an orange tinge. There you go. It's very slight, very minute, but it makes it more natural rather than just being like a black shade. Let's second shade it as well. Make selection. And that one we can just fade. Nice. I love the spike shading. It's such an effective, simple way to shade. Let's get some shading out here now. Sorry, highlights. Well, where can the highlights go? That's the thing now. So I would probably something like that. Follow this bit, and then the knee part, perhaps. And then a little bit around here. Just like that. It's very simple. It's not too over the top. It's probably still not perfect, so that will need a bit of adjustment. So let's turn the layer opacity down there all the way and bring on a color overlay, which is better. Gives you more refinement. Color dodge. I like that. Blending options down. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm not entirely happy with how this looks, I'm going to do spike shading down here as well. Same thing here. Make a selection and delete. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So what we want to do, because again, like this is the whole part of airbrushing and why it's so important, because we do have shading there. However, I do want to make it feel a little bit more darker at the top and more natural. So I'm just going to get a airbrush. Let's turn the opacity down to about 29. Make it big. Size of the brush. Bring it up. And just apply your shading. So that's quite nice. Yes. Happy with that. Turn it down a slight bit. Got a bit of DCS on. Same thing with the body as well. So I didn't do that here, but let me just do it quickly now. The arm is covering. Let's probably bring it up. Bring that there up. There we go. Nice. I like that. Now we can rub out this little bit here, just in case any overspray of the brush. Don't want that to show. There we go. Nice. Cool. I think majority of Sahiba is done, because that's the essence of her. Like her pose is there. It's just about doing like maybe like a bit of a design on the fabric, and I have to finish off that little edge bit as well. Don't know if it needs it necessarily, but it might actually might help. Might look okay. Probably don't need it though. That's the thing. So it's like, is it worth doing? What I am gonna do though, I did forget about this little Little curve over bit. I don't know what to call them sometimes, so I just say whatever comes. Nice. Let me see if it's possible to do I'll just drop a bit of a shadow here. And then rub out. That whole section to show a bit of a shadow forming under the fold. Yeah, I think that works. Let's turn it down a slight touch. So that little difference there, you can see that. That's quite nice. Let's do a little bit more just under here, because his arm is there, the shadow will form under that. Hey Sakshi, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay, I think that's quite nice. Let's see where I've placed that at the moment. Yeah, okay, so it needs to be above. We've got that shadow, we've got a few other little shadow bits and highlights. Those all formed quite nicely. I'm going to group all that up. And then we can move on to the next bit. So there we go, that's Sahiba quite getting to an end point. I will add some like glows and stuff like that to her later on, but for now I think I'm quite happy with how she is. So now we move on to Mirza. So let's name that group Sahiba. And yes, she is crying in this piece. She is crying. Don't ask me why, she just is, okay? As much as they're gazing into each other's eyes and they're passionate, you know, I want to kind of reflect a bit of emotion in there as well. So, it goes arm, see the arm layer. There's nothing really under that. Let's apply a cuff because I want to cover this bit here. So that's the join that I made earlier, but I want to cover that. Don't know with exactly what yet, but he does have a bow and arrow, so I might make it like some sort of armorish type of look, which I think will be quite nice maybe. So maybe like some armor on his arm. I think that could be pretty nice. So let's select a bit of a darker color here. So yeah, you will see quite evidently here, it's my gradients. It's a ton of gradients that I've just downloaded over the years. They're quite easy to find on some websites. You can download them for free, buy some packs if you want. But yeah, whatever works for you, there's loads of gradients out there. Right, I'm going to leave that cuff as it is for now. I'm not going to do too much to it. I'll come back to that later on. But I just want to define creases in the in the arm. Got quite a bulky arm. Don't know which direction it's supposed to kind of go in. Maybe like this. How was the line that I did underneath it? Oh, it kind of goes up.
DJ Sarge, we love you. We fall down at your feet and we pray towards you sometimes even.
The mix is funny. Okay, that doesn't look right, so let's try change that.
Okay, I'm going to pass it over to you now, Harj. It's the live throwback mix right now on the BBC Asia Network. Over to you.
I think this is better. So let's get a bit of a definition into the arm now. Just these obvious lines at first, and then the shading will do the rest. So I want him to be quite bold and strong in this piece. My anatomy of arm folds and creases aren't great, but I'll try and make it work. I think that looks kind of right. Yeah, I think we didn't do too bad there. So shading will help, obviously. Shading always helps. Define things a bit more. And he will have this this sort of fold happening, like his sleeves rolled up. So I need to do that as well. So let's put that in there. Classic tunes. Nice. Okay. Oh, okay. Just delete that a little bit. Bring it back in. Sweet. Form the shape. And we should be able to apply a bit of a color here. I'm not sure what color as of yet. Again, that's not evident to me, but I'm gonna put something on it for now and then change it later on maybe and adjust it. But let's see, maybe I think a grey will work. Let's do that. I think this is okay. Let's apply shadows, maybe some highlight. We could probably easily apply a highlight just here, like that. Just like an edge light. We do want to obviously define it as like a folded sleeve. Before anyone says anything, this song is just part of the mix. Cool, just some little folds in there, nice little creases. Let's rasterize the layer and get some quick shading into here. I don't think it needs to take too long. Oh damn, tunes, but this will get copyrighted, so shit. Minor. It's no problem. No problem. Cool, we got that. Let's continue it. Let's just do this all on one layer if we can. We probably can. Oh shit, I forgot where I started now. See, this happens all the time. Okay, here we go. Got it. Found it, no problem. Nice. Fade it down. Shading. Voila. Is it voila or voila? It's with a V, isn't it? It's like voila. What the hell am I talking about? Okay. Don't mind me. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna leave it for here now on this stream. I'm gonna get some done off stream, and I'm gonna go grab a little bite to eat as well. But I will probably be back on later tonight, and there will be more progress made. So, everyone, whoever's gonna watch this back, enjoy. Hope you learned something from it as well. If it helps, great. Leave a like and tell your friends, tell your fam. It's up to you if you want to. But yeah, Mirza Sahiba is progressing. Peace and love in a bit. Peace in a bit. I just repeat myself. Tune!